A freezing January night, a small Belgian village. An 11-year-old girl looks through the window of her family home and suddenly sees a woman standing outside, dressed in white, surrounded by light. The girl doesn't know who she is. She doesn't know why she's there. But over the following days, something even stranger happens. According to the girl's testimony, the mysterious woman leads her away from the house, down a dark road, toward a tiny spring. Then she points to the water, not to a church, not to a sacred object, to the water. Why? That question transformed an almost forgotten Belgian village into a destination for pilgrims from around the world. And before this story was over, the mysterious woman would reportedly reveal exactly who this water was meant for. Tonight, we investigate Banneux, and the answer is not quite what you might expect. January 15th, 1933. The village of Banneux was cold, poor, and quiet. Inside a modest house lived the Beco family. Their eldest daughter, Mariette, was 11 years old. That evening, while looking through the kitchen window, Mariette reportedly noticed something outside. A luminous woman, standing in the darkness. Mariette called her mother. Her mother looked too, and according to later accounts, also perceived a bright female figure. But she was frightened. She refused to let Mariette go outside. Eventually, the figure disappeared. For most families, perhaps that would have been the end of the story. It wasn't. 3 days later, Mariette went outside, and this time, she followed her. According to Mariette's account, the woman appeared again. The child followed her along the road. Imagine the scene: a bitter winter night, dark trees, frozen ground. An 11-year-old girl walking alone, following something no one else around her could see. Then the figure stopped beside a small roadside spring. Mariette knelt. The woman instructed her to place her hands into the water, and then came a sentence that would eventually define Banneux. Mariette said the woman told her, "This spring is reserved for me." But that wasn't the complete message, because days later, Mariette claimed she finally learned why the spring mattered. And that answer would change everything. The apparitions reportedly continued through January and February 1933. Mariette said the woman identified herself as the Virgin of the Poor. Then came the message at the heart of the mystery. According to Mariette, the spring was intended for all nations to relieve the sick. Suddenly, the water had a purpose. Not wealth, not power, not spectacle. The sick, the suffering, the poor. Word began to spread. People started coming to the spring. Some prayed. Some washed their hands in the water. Others carried bottles home. And inevitably, stories of favors and unexpected recoveries began appearing. But Banneux would not simply accept every story as proof. An investigation followed. Church authorities approached the events cautiously. Mariette was questioned repeatedly. Witnesses were interviewed. The circumstances surrounding the reported apparitions were examined over many years. There were doubts, debates, and competing interpretations. Importantly, the spring itself is a natural source. Its existence does not depend upon the apparition story, nor does the Catholic Church teach that the water possesses some magical chemical property. Yet devotion continued growing. Eventually, in 1949, the reported apparitions of Our Lady of Banneux received official ecclesiastical recognition from the local bishop. But recognition doesn't answer our central question. What happened to Mariette? Did she truly encounter something extraordinary? Or could another explanation account for her experiences? That question remains a matter of faith and interpretation. Yet something undeniable happened afterward. People kept coming. Today, Banneux looks very different from that isolated village of 1933. Pilgrims arrive from many countries. Some are healthy, others are seriously ill. Some believe completely, others arrive uncertain. And many still perform the same simple gesture Mariette described almost a century ago. They place their hands into the water. Think about that. No elaborate ritual, no secret formula, just water. Perhaps that's what makes Banneux so compelling. The story never promised wealth. It never promised that everyone who touched the spring would be healed. Its message was directed toward people who are often most vulnerable, the poor and the sick. And suddenly, the strange choice of a tiny roadside spring begins to carry a different meaning. So why did the mysterious woman point toward the spring? According to Mariette's testimony, because it was meant for all nations and for the relief of the sick. That is the answer preserved by the Banneux tradition. But another question remains. Why water? Perhaps because almost nothing is more ordinary. Water has no wealth, no status, no language. Everyone needs it. The rich, the poor, the believer, the skeptic. Maybe that's why the image has survived for almost a century. An 11-year-old girl, a woman in white, and a small stream flowing through the Belgian winter. You don't have to accept the apparition to understand the power of that image. And perhaps that's the real mystery of Banneux. Not whether the water contains something extraordinary, but why something so ordinary became a symbol of hope for so many people. Mariette Beco eventually grew older. She lived a largely private life. She did not build a public career around what she said she had witnessed. The crowds remained, the spring remained, and the question remained. What happened during those winter nights of 1933? Faith gives one answer. Psychology may search for another. History can document what followed, but it cannot enter the experience of an 11-year-old girl standing alone in the darkness. Nearly a century later, the water is still flowing, and people are still placing their hands into it. Maybe miracles aren't always stories about nature being broken. Sometimes, they are stories about something ordinary acquiring a meaning that refuses to disappear. And at Banneux, that something is water. If you enjoy investigating stories where history, mystery, science, and faith collide, subscribe to Divine Eternal Stories. Because there are places around the world where people have been returning to the same waters for centuries. And Banneux is only the beginning. This is Miraculous Waters, and our journey has just started. But next time, we leave Belgium. We travel to Italy, because hidden among its mountains, sanctuaries, and ancient villages are springs associated for centuries with stories of protection, healing, and extraordinary events. Some are famous locally, yet almost unknown to the rest of the world. And one of them may give us an even stranger mystery than Banneux. Why have people been coming to the same water for generations? That's where we're going next.